Oh my God, this guy. Dear Lord. Okay, so this is Jordan Peterson's open letter to Twitter. To tell you the truth, I could never, I think in my entire life, I've managed to get through most of one of his videos. I just can't, I don't have the time to deal with people like this. The only reason I found out about this video is because I was watching Sam Cedar the other night and I saw that they were looking at it, and it just so irritated me right away. I'm like, I got to do a video on this. If I ever want to look into what this guy's shtick is, I'll go to someone else to explain it to me. The perfect person is Big Joel. I'm going to link one of his videos about him. Philosophy Tube is really good to explain what this whole Jordan Peterson thing is. Noam Chomsky did something a while ago, and Zero Books. Zero Books is pretty hardcore. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm gonna link the Big Joel thing though. Okay, so this freaking video. What is going on here with this dude? Dude, what is the effect you're going for? What is this? Obviously it was staged to appear to be something with his lime green shirt, black pants, and Magnum PI jacket, and the Pellegrino sitting there. And what on earth is that? Is that a magnifying glass and a bottle opener? What is this,
Message to
Jordan? What are you
Parag
trying to tell
Agrawal,
us?
CEO of
All
Twitter.
right, I want to see how much of this I can get
Dear
through.
Mr. Agrawal,
Probably not much.
I wrote this when it was literally 2 in the morning during my recent visit to beautiful Samos, Greece,
That sounds
where I
sexy.
was on business attending to my efforts on the educational front. I
Don't
woke
care.
up suddenly from my slumbers with
What?
you and
Did he wake up suddenly from his slumbers?
your company on my mind in my jet-lagged state, unable to drowse further, and so I sat there
Sounds like
writing
he's
instead of
obsessed.
sleeping, which the more cautious and sensible part of me wished devoutly I was able to do instead.
Devoutly.
A few weeks ago, the wise folks at Twitter deemed it
Ooh,
necessary
hand gesture.
to suspend my access to that platform, despite the fact that I had several million followers, despite the fact that I had used the platform in good faith, despite the fact.
All right, wait a second there. Okay, your breaking of the rules has nothing to do with how many followers you have. That doesn't come into it.
That I had put in the years of time and effort necessary to gain such an extensive following, despite the fact.
How many years, how much effort you've put into it, again, does not relate to why you got a suspension.
As well, that I was a genuine force on Twitter, trending with a rather appalling and frightening
Again,
degree of regularity.
that you were a genuine force does not matter. What? Wait a second. Did he just say... I need to back that up. It was appalling and frightening that he was trending. Alright, dude.
In many ways, I'm your
dear Lord.
monster, sir.
Okay, so you are a monster,
The reason
and
for
what
the
you're
suspension?
doing is appalling
It's
and
not
frightening.
exactly clear.
Sounds like
because
that probably needs to
very
be
little
dealt
is
with.
exactly clear, Mr. Agrawal, with regard to your social media network.
What the
Apart
fuck?
from the
The
fact
reason
that
for the
you
suspension is
allow
very clear.
an
It's
awful
actually
lot of
written
misbehavior. What
into the
with
terms of
the
service so
appalling
that you can see
proliferation
what
of
those reasons
anonymous
are if
and
you had a
near
question
demonic
about it.
trolls and bots and professional manipulation of the public space by actors such as the Russian and Chinese governments.
Whoa, 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 dude. Okay, so the argument he's about to build here is that everybody else, or there are other actors which do bad things, therefore I should be able to as well. And now this nifty inclusion of the word demonic, which seems to be a real key phrase lately. I guess this is going to be the new CRT in K-12, the new groomers, is going to be this religious-based thing about demonic. Is that where we're going next? Did they have like a big meeting and decide that's the next one?
And the proclivity of your own people to censor only those voices they don't agree with politically. The tweet,
This, too, is just such utter bullshit. I've had 3 accounts permabanned. My main account right now just got over a 1-week ban. You know why that happened? It wasn't because of an Illuminati conspiracy. It was because I broke the rules. That's what happens when you break the rules. My first instinct isn't to try to blame somebody else for something I did wrong. This shit's really easy because you can read about it too. You can go through their toes anytime you want and see how you broke the rules if you have a question. It's not a conspiracy.
that brought about my suspension was one directed, for better or worse, at the actress/actor Ellen, now Elliot Page, who I criticized, along with his or her physician, for publicly trumpeting and publicizing the decision to have her perfectly functional breasts removed in the attempt to switch sexes, which decision was up to him or her, and appropriately, I at least half suppose.
That's correct.
But which also served as a much publicized, more than 1.5 million Instagram likes, model for confused adolescents who might be considering, in their juvenile confusion, walking down the same direly and irreversibly damaging road. I don't think for a moment that it was even the criticism per se that resulted in my ban, but my use of Ellen's original name, a practice which the exceptionally active, yet exceptionally tiny and noisy and endlessly troublesome trans activist so-called community has decided to term dead naming.
I can't take it anymore. So he had opened with he didn't understand why he got a ban. The reasons for it were not clear. Although now apparently at this point he knows what the reason was. How he just figured this out now, I don't know. His buddy Dave Rubin also appeared to have the same problem. He couldn't quite figure out why it was happening. He did the exact same thing Jordan Peterson did, and then could not comprehend why he would receive the same ban for doing the same thing that someone else just got banned for. Incredible. Jordan Peterson followed his lack of understanding with he works really hard to get a lot of following, and he's been working at it for years, therefore he shouldn't get a ban. That was followed with other people do bad things, so if they're allowed to do bad things, why am I not allowed to do bad things? And now the argument is clearly he should have been allowed to decide what Elliot Page's name was, that this is the hill he's going to die on, because Elliot Page is living the wrong lifestyle. Elliot Page is happy in his lifestyle. This should not be public knowledge. Elliot Page should not exist. These arguments are beyond childish. They're such juvenile, childish arguments. Really, this letter, his open letter to Twitter, should have been an open letter to his mommy. That's what this should have been. Dear Mommy, you don't love me the way you should. I do good. Why don't you love me, Mommy? That's what this letter should have been. Pathetic.